Hey, how's it going? I'm going to do a monthly close as well as the weekly close today. Please follow me on Steemit at rustysmetals. Some questions on what's going on over here, but let me try to explain. Let me just open this up. This is my live streaming video here. So if you can, watch it over here. And what you want to do is upvote. The more influence you have, the bigger the upvote. And you get a little, you hand out some money. Each time you make a video or such, you get some curation benefits. And I'm not sure how the payout works, but after a while, you start collecting. For instance, if you do a video every day or a post every day, you can share it, you can upvote it, and then somewhere down here you can re-steam it. I don't see the re-steam button on mine. Wonder why that is. Maybe because it's my post. You can't re-steam your own post. It should be like right in here next to the views button, I think. So anyways, just very simple, upvote. Make sure when you create an account, you don't lose your account password. It's very hard to get it back. I think they might have a way to do it, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty complicated. So if I go back, let's go to my blog page. You can check out my wallet. What you want to do is build up your Steem power, and that's your influence on your control on your payouts, your upvotes, curation rewards. So that's what I've been doing. You have money over here for Steem dollars. I believe that you can. There hasn't been any interest rate on that lately, but what I do is use this, and I convert it to Steem, and that takes a few days. And then I convert that to power up. That gives me this number here. Now my number is greater than it should be because I put some money in there, and so did my client. So this was as high as 1,800, and because the Steem went down a little bit, so did my account value. But that's about it. I mean, if you want to find a section to post in, here's all the at the home. You can find all of your topics here. And I believe the best payouts start at the top. So if you're going to start doing it, you first want to introduce yourself as the tag of the post. And then you can choose up to 5 tags. So usually when I do a cryptocurrency, I do cryptocurrency. Right now I'm in money and a few others. But you can pick your topics, and I believe the topics are always changing. But to get really going, I haven't done it myself, but introduce yourself is pretty popular. And a lot of times the newbies do quite well on introduce yourself as a tag. This one's got $5, and that's pretty good. Here's Jeff Berwick's Dollar Vigilante. He makes a killing on $1,000 a day, it seems like, on his posts. There's no reason to do YouTube anymore. Facebook, post for free. Twitter, post it here, claim it as a source, and then retweet it, repost it on Facebook. Do all the other things. Make sure people come back to Steem, because this is where you're going to get paid for curation. And takes time, but I would follow the big hitters, follow what they're doing, and you should. I mean, I'm not a big blogger, but people are doing very well. It's huge. It's going to take care of a lot of things. Censorship and everything. All right, so on with it. Just wanted to explain myself. What's going on? I think there was a couple questions over there. Let's do a weekly review. Start with the dollar. Let's cut it down to the daily first. See if we got any kind of reversal. Pretty much a smackdown last week. I do have a short bounce, but nothing yet. Watch for the 8 to cross over the support line, and then price to come back and smack it. That's what I'll be looking for. I think the market's open. I'm not sure if the actual trading market is open tomorrow, but the futures is open now, so I don't know how that works really. I haven't checked if the regular market for trading is open tomorrow, or even Tuesday for that matter. I think maybe it's open tomorrow and then closed Tuesday. Does that sound right? I'm not sure. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a great day because I'm the only one watching right now. So definitely bearish. Looking for maybe a bearish retracement on the daily, back into resistance and then falling over. The weekly would look for coming back in this week. And then for the monthly close, we got plenty of room to come back into support. What I noticed is a reverse head and shoulders though. But we'll see if that ever pans out, because this is at the top of the chart, not at the bottom. Reverse head and shoulders is supposed to be on the bottom. Reverse head and shoulders at the top is, I think the probability of it breaking out, it becomes a lot less. It can break out. So this could be the right shoulder on a reverse head and shoulders. Watch for previous low breaks. Here comes support coming in. So look for support coming in and around 92, I believe. And then after that, we got support coming in on the other side, previous highs coming in about 88 and 84. I think I was saying that maybe it could come all the way down to 82. Look at this long drop here that started in 2002 all the way to 2005. So that was pretty brutal. Monthly close has got that double top. So I'm looking for prices to come back in for the dollar, and I think the president wants that to happen too. I believe he mentioned that the dollar is too expensive, and other countries are having trouble with the expensive dollar to how did he say it? When the dollar is too expensive, it's hard to exchange. So he's bringing the price down for other countries to exchange it, making the dollar more usable. I don't know if that's going to work out or not, but it seems to be working so far. So there we go. Definitely bearish. But first, I think this week we're going to see a bearish retracement back into resistance. That's a huge reversal candle. We'll see how far the retracement gets up. Does it get all the way into resistance? I'm not sure. Let's start with the daily, see if we've got any kind of reversal plan going. This was supposed to be the measured move, didn't reach it. I've got lower highs coming in. I've got the breakdown, bearish retracement, breakdown, bearish retracement. Just stair stepping it down. and I think I mentioned this before, because of the previous pattern, is very slim support on the corner over here. I would say watch for high volume and just cut across that whole pattern, breaking down. And I would imagine if it gets the futures market gets rolling, I imagine on the open for the regular markets, this will just gap through all through the lines of support. So that's daily. Weekly, definitely bearish on the daily. Weekly's came into support. You can see that came into support, bounced, closed above the 8 on the weekly. So, but that's a dark cloud cover. Looks like it's encompassing 1, 2, 3 previous weeks. And for the monthly close, it's got a long wick pointing up. So maybe we need a couple more wicks pointing up. We get the tri-tips or the tweezer top, but no reversal yet. That's not a reversal bar, that is a spinning top. So watch out below on the daily and the weekly, as prices could slide right through the previous pattern back into support. The VIX, I think we just look at the weekly on this one. Actually, the daily was looking pretty nice. No, the weekly. Let's look at the weekly close. The VIX had a pop and came all the way back in, making a nice inverted hammer, aside from the small wick on the bottom. Nice pop, came back all the way into support, closing above the 8. And don't mind my crap. So it's building. We got an inverted hammer here, so it's build, 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 build. Dow Jones, start off the daily. Daily has a dark cloud cover. Again, the breakdown, bearish trace, the breakdown, smackdown actually. And then closing below on a daily, no reversal bar, still dark cloud cover, and looks like the daily close on Friday was a bearish harami. Two-bar pattern. The weekly close on the Dow looks like we bounced off of support, just like the S&P. Closing a lower high. Again, watch for any kind of break below previous low, sliding back into the previous pattern, and just keep on going. This could be entitled to a rephrasement of a bullish retracement on the weekly. So watch for previous high breaks. It looks like the Dow on the monthly looks like it is bullish. Holding the previous pattern break, closing above support, and nice green candle. And this little line here is the measured move. So once it reaches the measured move, then we'll have to recalibrate, see what's happening. NASDAQ, two-bar pattern on the monthly. That doesn't look sweet. Weekly is a bearish encompassing lower high close, closing below the 8. The NASDAQ looks weak on the weekly. And it looks like it's going to slide on through. I got the lower highs still working that hanging man right on the top. We had a little hammer here, but got rejected there. And we closed below this hammer here, making that now a hanging man. We've got a two-bar pattern here, or a double bottom here, and we have support right underneath. So look for previous low breaks on this double bottom. Should take out this wick, no problem, easy. So all it's holding it up is a double bottom. And you can see maybe even calibrate a head and shoulders top. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Head and shoulders tap on NASDAQ. It's not perfect, but it is clearly a left shoulder, right shoulder, head scenario. And so on the 4 hour, it looks like we got a rejection so far. We got the cross. NASDAQ does not look good. So I can go either way on the Dow and S&P because the weekly closes, but that weekly close is not good. I would look for bearish attitude all week. So the breakdown, closing the lower high, breakdown, maybe come up a little bit, get rejected, 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 come all the way back down in support on the weekly close, all the way down to 5,000. Look at how steep that is. And now I mention it over and over again, how steep these things are. There's no support holding it up. So look for some kind of a downfall. Crude saved by the bell last week. I got an not dark cloud cover, it's the opposite. Bullish tones on that. Closing previous lows. Closing at, it looks like a reverse head and shoulders here, starting. That's the A, B, and then the right shoulder will come in. It's a weekly close that could take forever. You can see on the daily, the V bottom. So what I'm looking for is maybe a pump into resistance, a little bit pumped into resistance, making that opposing point. Right? And then we'll have the trend. V bottoms don't work. So I'm going to look for it to reverse somewhere into resistance, come back, make that opposing point. Gold. What did gold do? It's still sucking on the support there. It's dependent on support, I guess. Oh my God. Get out of the brush. It's an elaborate reverse head and shoulders, but it's got to be turning off of the support line. Don't let it break the neck. Or the head. Get the neck's up here, sorry. It's the 4 hour chart. Daily chart. It's got to hold support. I don't know what it's doing way down here. Did the same thing over here. We thought it was going to break down and just shot up. So did the same thing over here. It's had support this whole time. I've got some kind of a balance point here from a previous low resistance. If that breaks, then I'll just move it on up to the next line. And then the next line. And then the long red candles, I'll use that as a 50% rule. But right now, the closest resistance is that next previous low. And you can see all the averages right there. It's got to hold. I'll redo this line here. Get over the 8, over the 34, over the 13. Watch for any kind of previous low breaks, as it could just take a step down. Watch for any step down and then reversals, as it could just whipsaw your ass out of a trade. I've got an elaborate longer term chart pattern working. Got a higher low. It's got to hold support or it's going to come down. I am working with a double top. It's got to take out that double top in a timely manner. Looks like for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. There's no cross on the 8 yet, so it's still possible to close above that 8 here on any kind of bounce and bullish move. I mean, it crossed over the 34, back into support, 2-bar pattern. Crossed over the 34, back into support. Crossed over again, back into support. Higher lows throughout. I am bullish, but watch out for any kind of swing downwards, because we have to take into account that double top. And the long-term pattern, I was thinking of something else. But it's basically just a cross over the 34, came back into an opposing point, and now we're building. This could stay in here for weeks. But we got to hold support above that 34. That is going to be the start, because look, the 8, the longer we don't break that double top, the 8's going to cross that 13, and then we're going to be stuck into another phase downward. So hurry up, gold. Yeah. So close just at support. The 8 and the 13's crossing over the 34. All we got to do is get that 13 across. Looks like we broke the 34, came back into support, broke it, came back in the same month. We got to take out that double top. Boom, 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 boom. It's just a back and forth until we break somewhere. The trend is up. We've got to take out that double top on gold. Silver. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Let's get a little bit closer in. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Holding support the whole time. It's got to cross that 8 into resistance, come back into support. So let's watch that for the next 4-hour chart. Daily chart crossed over the 8. Kind of pulled back in a slingshot fashion, pulled back up, held support for a daily chart. Got to get across that 13, holding support again. Monthly close or a weekly close looks like it could fall over for a down leg. Watch for any kind of whipsaws, just like on gold. But look, the 8 crossed over the 13 and the 34. Doesn't look good. Look for any kind of whipsaws back in through support, back through resistance. Something's got to give. I'm going to be buying silver this whole time. My next paycheck, any kind of extra money I get, I'm going to start buying the heck out of it. Because you know what? Chicago is going bankrupt. We don't know what's going to happen. I believe that the pensioners are going to lose their money first, which really sucks because the people in charge should be held accountable. and use their salaries to pay the pensions. That's what I think. They allowed it to happen. They've been spending left and right. There's even word on the street that the surrounding states might absorb the whole state of Illinois, which is kind of ludicrous because it's just a bankruptcy. I don't know, we can take silver, go through support for nice whipsaw, got to hold support on any kind of pull in, pull back into support. Maybe we need a double bottom, I don't know. But looks like 1660 would be the last line of support before it just falls over into the next range, all the way back in 1300 or 13, let's just call it 14. 1350. Wow, it's got to pick up the pace. Looks like momentum's been dropping off. Getting rejected, getting rejected. Let's see how we're doing on the intraday. I got a reverse head and shoulders on the intraday. Watch that right shoulder come in. Look at that nice little reverse head and shoulders on the 60-minute. It's got to break above the 34. Watch the crack across the 34 back into support for the bullish retracement. Watch the right shoulder first. The right shoulder can just knock everybody out of the longs. Coming all the way back in. Don't let it take out the head. If I was trading this right now, that's a reverse head and shoulders. I'd let that right shoulder come in for a quick one, and I would take a bite down here at support. But don't let it take out that head. I'm going to use these lines of support over here, because look at that nice little hammer right there. I would say nothing. I would put a buy order in at 1655. Is where I would put a buy order if I was going to trade this right now. Hey, what's up, Yasmin? I didn't think anybody was watching. Oh, I got 8 people watching. Woo! Nice. Copper. Let's start from the daily. A nice little breakout on copper outside that channel. Boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back, and then it broke. Came back into support, 2-bar pattern here. Kept on going. Right now, I'm looking for copper to come back into support because we're closing on a daily, the hanging man. We got support on the 13 on the weekly coming in about 260. And you can see the open, the double top coming in. So the daily closes a hanging man, and then on the weekly, looks like it opened a double top and it's coming in already. So it opened down. So look for copper to come back into support. Monthly close. I'll do the I'll do uranium here in a sec. I got the list there. It's not all of them, but it's the ones that I URRA, UEC, URRE. I'll get to those in a sec. No problem. You can see the monthly close, that stair step into the 8. Nice bounce. So look for some retracement back into support. Gather its legs and try again over that 34 on a monthly is what we're looking for copper. It's an elaborate, huge pattern that's been forming. Oops. The reverse head and shoulders on the monthly chart. So when that pulls back, watch for any kind of pullback. Just stretch, slingshot style, and then back, bam, pop it. Right shoulders don't always come in like that, but seems like it to me. Always wait for that right shoulder to come in. Oh my God. There's some settings on that pink bar. Looks like 60-minute closing a couple reversal bars for copper. A reversal bar there. Long wick could be construed as a hammer. So we'll see. We got to close above previous highs, 270. So 271 and above could be back to bullish, but right now it looks like it's coming back in. MGA. MGA is uranium? I don't know that one. I'll look at it. Well, it looks like gold and silver are pretty weak at support. There's absolutely no bounce off of support last week. And copper took off, and now copper that took off is coming back into support. So I would say copper's in the lead. We'll have to see. I'm skeptical on gold and silver holding support. I just don't know. Dollar's down. Equities are turning over. Gold and silver should be popping, and they're not. I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure it out, but the market's so manipulated. I don't even know what the hell's going on anymore. There's no way to figure it out. Oh, okay. MGA Mega is uranium at Canada. All right. Check it out. So I always buy silver. I got a BitGold account with some money in there for, I'm going to use, well, it's not BitGold anymore. It's Gold Money account. I got some gold stashed away around the world. And I love physical silver, so I keep that at home. And it looks like 74.63 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold. So it's still a good buy for silver. We had it popping and then came back into support. Right now it's going sideways. It looks like it's going to take another leg. Closing above the 8 and 34. Probably get a pop across that 13 into previous lows. Take out previous lows. Get right up the range. Gotta love silver. So Bitcoin is supposed to be turning over here soon. I conceded. I think that the head and shoulders top on Bitcoin is going to complete. I conceded. I didn't. The reason why I didn't want to accept the head and shoulders top is because on the 4 hour I got a reversal. The reverse head and shoulders here. But that got rejected, making the right shoulder head, or left head, right shoulder. So the right shoulder's in, came in for a bearish retracement, and I'm looking for a reversal here, a rejection off the 34, and this to fall over. So one question I'm asking myself is, should I hold on to Bitcoin or should I scale out and rebuild after we find a bottom? Dang it. Stupid thing. Dang it, paint bar. So I'm looking for a rejection here. I do have a higher low. We could get across here, but I am not going to change. This is definitely head and shoulders top. You can see it clearly there. I just scrunch that thing up. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But the thing is, we're gonna patterns do fail. The economy sucks. I think People are fleeing the dollar, finding some kind of safe haven. And I think people are tired of waiting for gold and silver to pick up the pace. And Bitcoin is going to be the place to go. So this could be taken out. The only way to change my idea about the head and shoulders top if we break across the shoulder line there at 2,800. So we've got 300 points away. It's likely to fall over first. So there we go. Just real quick on Ethereum, we'll just do a weekly close. Actually, what am I missing? I'm missing a weekly close on Bitcoin. 2-bar pattern, double top, dark cloud cover. It's got to hold the 8, 2,400. Anything below 2,400, head and shoulders top on the daily is completed. That's the ticket right there. Go short. I don't know if you can go short. I think some exchanges will allow you to go short, but I'm not a short trader. I go long, but it'd be easy to go short on the same principles that I use. Ethereum close weekly, 2-bar pattern. So I don't think that's ready either. Got support at 10 cents though. But that's a huge dark cloud cover on the weekly close. Could take weeks for this to come all the way back in. And I'm showing support down here at half. So it could take a 50% drop on Ethereum. So never mind the bubble talk. This is a technical issue. It's breaking support lines, coming back in. If it was a bubble, it would have already popped and came all the way back down below previous highs. That's how a bubble works. GDX weekly close. I'm kind of sketchy on GDX because of the breakdown, bearish retracement, and then the rejection. Look for previous low breaks outside that pattern. Otherwise, let's watch for any kind of reversal coming through. We've got a nice reversal coming through on the daily. So keep the daily popping. Otherwise, watch the weekly close, breakdown. Same goes with GDX. Actually, GDX is looking good, crossing the 8, 13, back into the 13 for support. Weekly close. Nugget, on the other hand, same as GDX. You got the breakdown, bearish retracement back into resistance, rejected. Watch for previous low breaks outside that pattern. Again, on the daily, we do have not a 2-bar reversal, but a bounce nonetheless. Got to get above that 8 and 13 back into the 34, and then we can have support. All we have is a thin line of support on that trend line. Could easily break that down. So watch it close. Keep your trades on a leash, short leash. GNO, yeah, that was a nice run. LTC, I remember it's holding up rather than breaking down. Everything was breaking down this weekend. Usually Saturday nights is a great trading night for cryptos, but I didn't see anything really. Nothing worth fighting for. I got higher lows throughout on JNUG. JNUG's got to hold support as well. The thing is about JNUG is that 34 is coming in high and tight. So we've got a support and resistance getting tight in here. So I like JNUG. JNUG's got to get his legs back. I mean, this thing was popping, 40% runs. After that dilution period, the reverse split, I haven't seen anything out of JNUG. So break outside that pattern. And honestly, that looks like a bearish flag into resistance. So watch your trades. They just ruined it. I told you they were going to ruin it. Absolutely ruined it on that reverse split bull crap. Such a great trader before the reverse split. Scared everybody away. Lost all forms of momentum. Just killed it on the spot. No one's going to touch it. Not until I sell all that trades they created. All the contracts they created on the reverse split. Looks like TNX saved by the bell. Double bottom. Bam. Right through the 34. Back into resistance or support. Gapped over the 34. Back into support and just ran. Broke previous highs on the close. Saved by the bell. Nice bounce off the 34 on the weekly. Monthly close on TNX. The price pinch. Crossed over the 34. Back into support. Closing a nice little hammer for the month. I think I forgot to do a close on monthlies. JNUG, I can't get too much data on the chart for a monthly. Let's see, I can't get any data on that one either. There we go. Now, just opposite of what I've been talking about, I'm bullish on the monthly chart. It's got to hold support though. Got to hold support. GDXJ monthly and GDX doesn't look as good. You can see the rejection off that 8 coming in. Rejection. Reversal bar. Rejection, rejection, rejection. It's got to hold support. Hopefully it'll be saved by the bell. Pumped it into the 34, back into support. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Looks like a stair step into support. But I don't know if support is going to hold or we're going to do it like a double bottom or something. All right. Back to it. Nikkei still looks good, holding support. I'm looking for a right shoulder to swing back like a slingshot. Bam! The reverse head and shoulders. Shanghai, still bullish off that hammer. Nicely done. Crossing over the 34, back into support, broke previous highs last week. Closing on its highs, so it looks like it's going to keep running. Monthly close, nice hammer. Yeah, it's bullish. Last month was a close on the hammer. This month closed above the hammer, and it's a bit bullish mode. Watch for the flat top break at 33. Coal. Looks like a daily reverse head and shoulders. And we're going to wait for that right shoulder to come back in. Or it could go sideways. Weekly 2-bar pattern. It's got to close above the 8 and 13 though. It looks like a rejection on the close. But there is a bottom forming going sideways. It's basing. At the spike low and then the reversal. It did close above previous lows though. A little bit more, it would have been closing above the 8 handily. And then the monthly on Coal is across over the 34 two-bar pattern back into support. So it's in between the 8 and 13. I think that it could come down into the 13. Watch previous high breaks though. Steel. Have the nice U bottom, inverted hammer, two-bar pattern over the 8, back in. Steel is building. CLF, same thing. Had that J curve pop, and then it kept going. Need to get above that 13 and that little balance point above. CLF looks good. Could have a little daily turbulence, but it looks like it popped the 34 back into support. Look at the 8 coming across. I would imagine that CLF is going to come back into the 8 and meet and bounce. A nice W bottom. Yeah, look for prices to come back in a little bit. Watch for that reversal coming as it hits support. AG. Nice back and forth on that daily. Over the 8, over the 13, back into the 34, got rejected, made another bounce. Let's take this hammer on the upside. Just came back into support, gathered its legs, and bounced pretty nice on Friday. Weekly close, two-bar pattern. Still waiting for it to pop. Monthly, just trade outside that pattern. That last run was over the 34. This is just a support phase or consolidation phase. I don't like the lines on the long-term chart. Watch the pop across the 8 on the monthly. Could be a nice doozy. Just call it 10. Previous high, 950. Anything above 950 will break into previous lows. 10 o'clock high will get it across it. 34. Looks good, AG. Monthly on USLV, hugging support just like everything else. Just knock these things back, didn't they? It's turning. Popped across the 8 into the 13, back into support, closing a couple inverted hammers down in there. Just one inverted hammer, really. So take that inverted hammer out on the way up. Crossing the 13. Just, I guess, anything above 12. It's got to get some momentum, though. NAK. That's daily. Actually, USLV, let's look at that weekly real quick. It's hugging support on the weekly on the USLV. NAK, weekly coming into support. We've got any kind of reversal. I got a two-bar reversal there. Higher lows. Don't let the previous lows, make sure you hold support. Otherwise, take out the previous high. Breaking into previous lows. Breaking into previous lows could be a nice run into the next range. Uranium. Looks bullish on the daily. It has a triple bottom, came across, held support, doing this little stair step across the balance line there. Looks like it busted across, held support, making a nice U on that close. Looks like the weekly closed above the 8, popped above previous highs, came across the 8, came back into support, held support. That's nice. UEC, monthly, I guess. Nice legs, 2-bar pattern. Nice inverted hammer here. Got to get above that 8. It's like 14 and above. Could be just bullish as ever on URA. UEC popped into resistance, came back into support. Watch for previous high breaks on UEC. That's a nice monthly pop. Nice U. Watch for previous high breaks. Nice flat top break coming in. Yeah, nice consolidation over the 34. Watch the previous high breaks on UEC. I think at one time I thought that was going to break down, but recovered very nicely, held support. Look at that stair step on UEC. Look at the pop, came back in, and then pop. Watch the previous high breaks on UEC. That's a nice looking chart, all the way across, all time frames. It's like URRE daily. It's building. No, this is not UEC. I thought it was going to break down. It was URRE. Thought it was going to break down, never come back. Came back pretty handily, came back into support, held support. Watch for previous high breaks on that one. These charts are a little messed up when it comes to the long term, so looks like it's trying to get over the 8. Once it gets over the 8, use that as your support, previous highs. MGA. That is, you want, oh, there it is. Yeah, that looks bullish. Popped into resistance and then gapped over resistance. Coming back in, closing above the 34 on the daily. That looks bullish. Could get some back and forth on the weekly. So look for the daily to come back into support. Right now, it looks like it broke into previous lows and got rejected just a tiny. But watch previous high breaks on that weekly candle, 20, just call it 21 and above. And then look at the price pinch working between resistance and support. So it popped into resistance, came back into support. Watch for previous high breaks. Come back in all the way to 30. 30, watch resistance. Let it come back in, gather its legs, and try again over that 34. Uranium looks good for quite a few of them, actually. Look at Apple's 2-bar reversal on the monthly. That looks bearish. Watch for the monthly open. Watch it close down or below previous lows, last month's low. Watch for Google and Apple to close or open when trading starts below the previous low. If it opens lower, watch out below. If it opens higher, let it come in 50% and watch the rejection. That's a nasty, nasty 2-bar reversal on Apple and Google. Nasty. Google's closing on its lows for the month. And that's it. I hope I got you. Oh, you're welcome, Dan. Thank you, Yasmin. please follow me on Steemit. If you don't have an account on Steemit, it looks like demand is pretty high and you have to wait for an account to get approved. Don't lose your password. Start following the top people. If you do any kind of Facebooking or Twitter, anything, you want to use Steemit as your source. Start making money. Bet you it's going to take out Facebook. I bet you. But I appreciate you guys. And watch for gold and silver support. I'm gonna be buying the heck out of it on the physical side. Junk silver. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna keep buying it from here on out. I usually buy sporadically, once a month, once every couple months, whenever I have some extra coin. But right now, I think things are heating up, especially with Janet Yellen. Did you hear Janet Yellen? Janet Yellen's like, oh, I don't think we'll ever see a crisis in our lifetime. What does that even mean? That's when you got to get worried. When the government says, give us your guns, you don't need them, that's when you need a gun. When the Fed chair says, oh, there's never going to be a crisis, it means it's right around the corner. It's absolutely insane the way these people think. Anywho's, buy some physical, keep yourself safe, and I'll see ya.